everybody, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. I am out of my condo and I am so excited. I am still healing. I got my boot on. I got my cane. But I am getting out and about. I am here at the Dayton Art Institute because I love this museum and there's a lot of seating here. So this is kind of my trial run, just to kind of, first of all, stretch my leg, exercise my leg, and try to get it stronger. But also to see how far I can walk, to see how much pain I'm in later today after I'm done, and to see like how it goes. So I picked the art museum here because there is a lot of seating inside, so I will have a lot of chances to take a break and sit down if I need to. So that's why I picked this location for my first outing after my injury. So I'm very excited to be out well, I'm gonna go inside, but I'm in the sun and I'm out of my condo and I'm doing something that is not a doctor's appointment or physical therapy. So well, I'm going to show you the building a little bit because it's beautiful out here, and then let's go inside and look at some art. What art museum doesn't have some giant modern piece of metal in front? And this is the museum. It's a really beautiful building, and especially like wait till you see inside. It's gorgeous. Sometimes, when I first moved to Dayton, I was like, oh, Dayton, it doesn't have, what is there here? But then, it has some really beautiful things, some cool museums and some cool parks and cool festivals, and it's pretty cool. So let's go inside. Right, well, here I am inside, and first we're going to look at the glass exhibit, because if you guys have seen some of my past vlogs, I think I've mentioned how much I love blown glass, and so this is one of my favorite parts. This one's really cool because it's made from fused glass threads, and if you look close, you can tell, yeah, it's made from glass threads. Gorgeous. That's blown glass with gold and platinum leaf. I'd put that in my house. Oh, and I like that one too. Sometimes when I looking through this section, I feel more like I'm shopping because I'm like, ooh, I want that for my house, and I want to put that in my house, and I like these ones. I like the colors on these ones quite a bit. The gold and the green. I like that one. So down on this lower level, they have a lot of like art from other countries and other cultures, specifically like historical. And so it almost turns into like, it feels more like a history museum down here, just because you're seeing what these cultures were like a long, long time ago. So this specific section is the art of Africa. And so let's go around and look at a little bit of it. Ooh, this is called a buffalo slit drum. So it kind of looks like a water buffalo, and then it has a slit running down its back. I don't think they would appreciate it if I tried to like beat it like a drum. Oh yeah, there it is, no touching. So some of the stuff is like fertility idols and stuff like that. Oh, but some of it, like it's in an art museum, but it's a ladder. And like, so down here at the very end, this was a ladder. And we have it in an art museum. There's another drum. I'm talking quietly because even though I'm the only one here, it's very echoey, and so I feel like if I talk louder, everybody in all the other rooms will be able to hear me. The art of the ancient Americas. Let's see. Oh. So sometimes, like this one is from Nicaragua, Costa Rica. So they don't know exactly which culture had it, but that's the relative region that was found in. Some of this art I can't get too close to because I run a family channel here, and some of the art is, like I said, fertility symbols and stuff like that. And well, they can be, while a little malformed, they can be kind of graphic. So I won't get too close to anything like that. Oh my goodness, but look at all of this. All this jade, it's just beautiful. Beads there. They call them ear flares, those like these ones and these ones. I'm assuming that they put it in their ear to expand it like they do today. Oh, these ones are ear flares too. Oh my goodness, those are huge. This one is from the year 700 or 800, between 700 and 800. It's kind of hard to tell, but there are like two figures there that, I don't know. It says, 2 royals undergoing a bloodletting ritual. Oh, well that's... I thought maybe they were chatting. Apparently not. All of these like jars are so intricately carved. It makes me wonder, like, were these used like in a religious ceremony, or was this like someone's like water pitcher that went on their dinner table, you know? And in 1,000 years, or 2,000 years almost, will someone have my Brita picture like in an art museum? It makes you wonder. Look how intricately those are made. I don't even know how they do that. Look how beautiful. It's so tiny. That's even more so. Oh my goodness. Really beautiful. We have reached the art of the Middle East. The color of that bull is just beautiful. 13th century. I always love these tiles. They're so pretty. These are from Turkey. Oh. Turkey, Iran, India. look at that scabbard. Look how detailed it is. And the bowls. Really pretty. So this is all more modern Japanese art, specifically clay. Ooh, I love the colors on this one now. You guys know me and my love of glass. Well, this is kind of fitting into it because it even says it, some of it says it's clay, but then there's also like this one is porcelain. And that fits in with my love of glass. Look at the colors. All right, now we're getting into the more traditional, historical Asian art. Specifically, this room is Japan. So they have everything from like tapestries to like carved figures of all sizes. Like this one. What does it say about me that I go to an art museum and I start thinking, huh, that would look really cute in my condo? Look at that. So this is from the 15th or 16th century. It is from China, the Ming Dynasty. Seeing it up close is much more impressive and much more, I guess, humbling in person than it is like to see a picture or video of it. I say humbling because like the artists that create this kind of stuff, I can't even, there's nothing that I do that, is equivalent to what the artists represented in this museum can do. This is one of my favorite things. It's so cool. So they actually, let me get over to the plaque, but this is actually like an authentic door and panel. Alright, so this came from China, also the Ming Dynasty. They're doors, windows, and ceiling panels from the 16th century. So the fact that they were able to like bring it here, it was donated by somebody, and like install it so you could actually like go in. And let me show you the coolest part. I mentioned ceiling tiles. So we're going through the doors, and then they have all the ceiling tiles installed, like all the painted ones, like where the lights are. I'm guessing those are not, those are just bare, but all of these tiles is so cool. And the fact that you're not just looking at them like on a display case, and that you actually get to come in as though you're stepping into like a Chinese building is very, very cool. Okay, so it says objects like this tower were small models based on real-life buildings, people, and things that would accompany the deceased in the afterlife. Today they can tell us about architecture at the time, since few buildings remain from the period. Note the animal mask door pulls on the outside of the gate and the dragon head roof eaves. So there are animal mask door pulls. And I'm guessing that's the dragon head. Eve. Auspicious symbols that would provide protection. But there's even like a face, like he's peeking out, and there are people there too. So it says that they would accompany them to the afterlife, so would they be buried with this, or was this like their tombstone? I don't know. It doesn't explain. So I'm in the pop art special exhibit, and I looked at that and I thought, that looks like the Cincinnati Museum. And then it actually is, because the Cincinnati Union Terminal was turned into a museum now. It's a cool museum. I will hopefully get to take you guys there sometime. But pop art isn't really my thing, so I came in here and I was like, oh, this is stuff hanging on a wall. Like, there isn't anything in here that like catches my eye and draws me over, except for these dishes. I kind of want these dishes. But everything else, it's just not my style. It's very, I don't know, it's just not me. Let's move on. Another special exhibit. It says there are things in this world that are scary, even terrifying. Then there are things that are not quite frightening or upsetting. They are the prelude to fear, the unexplained feeling that something is not quite right. Well, that unsettling art, or whatever it was called, Unsettled, I wasn't super unsettled by most of it. The one, like that clown thing, was kind of weird, but it's very crowded in there, so I didn't film a whole lot just because I wasn't going to talk and interrupt other people, and there just wasn't that much exciting to show you guys. So I have made it to the top floor now of the museum, which is where they have more of the what you would expect from an art museum, like all the paintings and things like that. So I'm feeling good. My leg is a little sore, but not too bad. It's mostly just tired, but I might find a bench to sit down on just for a little bit and then continue on. So let's go. So this is why I came to an art museum, because I walked 10 feet and I found a bench. So I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and rest my leg and watch them set up for a wedding in the central, I don't know what it's called over there, but they have weddings here, and I'm sure they're very expensive, but they're very beautiful. Let me flip you around here. So through those doors, the museum up here kind of runs like in a circle around this central area and they have these big, beautiful windows. I thought for some reason that wasn't like open to the sky, but there are actually skylights up there. Like you can see the sky in there, but it is covered. And you can see they are setting up for a wedding. I have never priced how much weddings are here, but I have to believe that they're unbelievably expensive. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and watch them for a minute. Here we have a tapestry that depicts a scene from the Bible, specifically Abraham, his wife Sarah, and King Abimelech. A couple of things about this tapestry. First of all, just to give you maybe some size comparison, that's the size of it. So I am curious, like how do you do something like that? How do you weave something like that and get like perspective right and get proportions right? That baffles me. That's huge. Secondly, I think it's amusing that this is from Abraham's time and they all look like they're from the Middle Ages. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know what they wore back in. But it doesn't feel like Abraham's time to me. But that could just be my ignorance. So up on this floor, all of the doorways are surrounded by these beautiful marble arches. I have no idea if they're from somewhere, if they're authentic, or if they were just, added as part of the architecture to make the, this building seem more beautiful. This is even taller than that tapestry. Not as wide, but much taller. Do you think if I opened that door and stepped inside, I'd find myself in Narnia? Unfortunately, it says don't touch, or I might try. Most of the art we've been seeing up here is Baroque, but each room features from different regions. So we're currently in the Flanders and France area. Sorry about the glare. This is supposed to be the Magi coming to visit Jesus as a child with Mary. These unusually small ones. Well, two of the only ones in here that are not religious themed. I just finished reading Exodus and Numbers, which goes into detail about the Jewish priests and what they wore. And so as soon as I turned to this painting, I recognized that breastplate was going to be from a Jewish high priest. And reading the inscription, it is true that's supposed to be Moses and Aaron after God sent some snakes to punish the Israelites. This was the way God said that they would be saved. But that breastplate, and then the bells and I forget, there was some kind of fruit or something, like a fig, or I can't remember. That was the tassels on the bottom of his tunic. And I remember there was something written on the headdress, but yeah. This painter, whoever it was, looked at the details and not just the the dramatic, snakes attacking people. Alright, let's move on to the next room. Okay, this room is 18th century European art. I suspect we'll get out of religious themes. Not completely, but here is some game, that someone has hunted. Definitely not religious. That's rather graphic. Sorrowful Mother is the title of it. Sometime in the mid to late 1700s is when it was made. It says it's made out of wood, paint, glass, human hair, crystal, silk, silver thread, silver, mahogany, veneer, and ebony. I have no memory of this piece from my previous visits to this museum, but it says it was purchased in 2004, so I must have blocked it out or ignored it. I mean, it's a cool work of art, but man, that dagger in the heart, that's That's evocative. Oh. I was gonna say, oh, Henry VIII. So less religious and more royalty. Not quite as big as that other painting and not as big as that tapestry. But still substantial. So this beautiful room is where they have the wedding reception, or excuse me, it's where they have the wedding ceremony. So it's already set up, but because the museum is still open, they don't keep people out. It's really beautiful.
There's a seminar going on,
Wow, another big one. Oh, this is about King Lear. I don't know the story of King Lear, but which one is King Lear? Is that the king? Is that? I don't know. This one is called The View of Cincinnati, which is really cool that they have an Ohio-centric painting. So that's pretty cool. Ow. A little twinge from my leg, but nothing terrible. Dayton from Steele's Mill. Another Ohio one and Dayton one. Okay, well, none of the Dayton or Ohio ones are as beautiful as this one about Yosemite Valley, but I guess that's to be expected. Look how pretty that is. I think this might be my favorite room in the whole museum. Just the style of it is my favorite. It just says turn of the 20th century American art. But I like sort of the abstractness of some of it. Like this is just supposed to be like trees. It's called dogwood. But I like that. I think it's pretty. Put it in a different frame and I would hang that in my house. Yeah, so I don't know what all the types of art are called, but I sort of like this, like, you can tell what it is, but it's a little more abstract, you know. Is it impressionist? Is that kind of what this is? I could be wrong, but I feel like impressionist is sort of like what I'm thinking of, but I could be wrong. Please don't yell at me in the comments if I'm wrong. I really don't know art. I just like looking at it. This one I like a little less, but see this one, you can tell what it is. It's like this seaside with like bushes and a rock jutting out and some sailboats, but like it's not so precise that it's like trying to be a picture, and I like that. I like those kind of paintings. This is just called Lavender and Green. Seems fitting. Monterey Coast. Oh, this one's my favorite. This is called Night Scene. That's the one I want to hang in my house. I think that one is really pretty. There we go. And we're getting to my least favorite parts of the museum because we're getting to more modern art, which is not my thing. Every once in a while I'll see a painting that I'm like, oh, I like that one, but mostly I'm just like that I don't like that at all. So let's look at it together. The problem with a lot of this art is that I feel like anybody can do it, you know? And I know that's probably a little minimalistic, but like, look at this one, for example. Give me a ruler, and I can make that no problem. And so I don't understand why it's here. You know, like why does this deserve to be hung in an art gallery when if I did it, it would be trash. And that's kind of my feeling about most modern art. Not all of it, but it just doesn't look like it has a purpose. Like, this doesn't, like, I'm sure the artist could tell you what the purpose is, but like there's no rhyme or reason. Another one that I could do if you give me a ruler. Okay, this one, even though I don't like it, I don't want to hang it on my wall, I feel like there's some kind of intent behind it. So I'll give this artist a pass as far as saying, like, I feel like they had something in their head that they were trying to express. Even though I don't particularly care for the result, I at least see like that there was something that this artist was trying to convey. And I can appreciate that. And even like this one, again, don't like it, don't want to hang it in my house, but I feel like it has intent behind it. And at least I can appreciate that. Same with those ones over there. I don't like any of these. But the closest one to me liking it is this one over here probably. And I think it's just because it kind of, from a distance, it maybe looks like a pond, or I don't know. Maybe it's the colors, like the reddish purpley. I just don't want to hang it on my wall. It kind of looks like, now that I'm looking at it, like it has like rats or cats or I don't know. It's called prehistory. So maybe those are like parts of animals formed, I don't know. See, this one really looks like it has an intention. It's called cantata. And I don't know what the intention is, but I look at it and I see effort that the artist put in. And I appreciate that. And I actually forget that one over there that was pre-life. Like this one is probably my favorite of the ones in this room. Again, not something I'd hang on my wall, but I feel like I get something out of looking at it and trying to understand what the artist was thinking. Yeah. Let's move on to my actual least favorite room. Okay, so I'm having a seat in one of the last rooms here. It is all modern art, which I've already said I don't like. And there's some of that's art hanging on the wall. And you know what? Everybody likes different art, and that's fine. But why is that in a museum? You know, like, I can cut out shapes and paint them different colors too. Why is that on the wall? And this one's even more baffling to me. Oops. I mean, if you want me to go, like, glue together some cardboard boxes or set up some IKEA shelving and call it art, I will. But, like, really? I don't understand. Another one that I don't like, but at least the artist had an intention behind it. Alright, and now I need to show you the thing that every time I come here and I see it, I wonder, am I going to have nightmares tonight? That I might have nightmares from that. So, you know, be prepared. So, this is, quote, art, you know, very loosely using that term art, of two people sitting in a chair and their hair is like connected. It's called Lost and Found for some reason. I don't know why that's called Lost and Found, but this, to me, this is like the stuff of nightmares. I don't know. I think it's scary. I think it's weird and scary. And I just saw this. I don't know if that's always been there, but that is scary too. Moral of the story, modern art is terrifying. Well, that was the Dayton Art Museum. I really enjoy going there. I mentioned which room was my favorite, and that purple sort of impressionist painting was really beautiful. I always like looking at the special exhibits downstairs. They weren't my favorite this time, but I really like looking at all the art from the different areas of the world, like the African art and the, you know, ancient Japanese art and all that kind of stuff. I think it's really cool that they have that here at the Dayton Art Museum. Now, one thing I do want to say about going to a museum is that I actually think it's a great thing to do by yourself. And for one simple reason, and that's that you can go at your own pace. Because I know for me, sometimes I go with people like my mom who stop and read every single plaque. And that's fine, like if they want to do that, but then I feel like I'm like, I want to go a little faster than that. And then there are some people that don't read anything and they just kind of walk through and they kind of glance at stuff and then that's it for them. And then I'm like, well, I want to read some stuff. Like I want to read the plaques on the stuff that catches my eye, you know? So when I'm here by myself or any museum, I can pause when I want to pause and take as long as I want or go as quickly as I want. You know, I might have been with someone that wanted to stop and read every plaque at every modern painting and examine every one and talk about what the artist's intent was, and I did not. I spent more time in there than I usually do because I wanted to talk to you guys about why I didn't like it. And usually I'm just gonna walk through those rooms fairly quick. Like I glance at the stuff, but like I don't like stop and look at it because it's not exciting for me. So but if I had been with someone who liked modern art, then I would have been had to stop and go through it with them. And yeah, so that's why I think museums in general are a good thing to do by yourself, because museums are meant to go at the pace you want to go at, and sometimes it's hard to do that when you're with other people. So find a museum near you and have some fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and a subscribe, and follow me over on Instagram at Lead the Life Vlog, and I will see you next time. Bye.